hopping into ladies' night tonight. It's 6:04. I'll be trying to stay timely. But when I say I am truly grateful to God for being here today. I'm so glad you said that, Dominique. I'm so thankful to be in the land of the living just another day. If you pop on here, if you ever tune into the ladies' night Bible studies and whatever avenue you tune into, this is a testimony to my real life journey with Christ. And hey, like some of y'all know, I've been having a rough week. I had to, God blessed me to have a procedure done that I've been waiting a long time to have, and I thank God for it. But I really underestimated the toll that this was going to take on my body and my mind because when you really don't understand how limited you are until you limit it. I'm It's giving me a newfound appreciation over this last week. To be grateful to God for just waking me up this morning, being able to turn around and swing my legs out the bed, having the energy to get up in the morning and make my bed in the morning to start the day fresh, to make breakfast for my family. Like when your range of motion is limited, or when anything is limited to you in any way, it makes you so much more grateful to God for the things that He do for you. And I've been just asking God in my downtime, Lord, just help me to remember to be grateful for the things that you allow me to do with my body. Because when I can't do them things with my body, it take a different toll on me. I'm just so grateful. Thank you for tuning on again. I prayed before I got on because Lord knows I needed to get some strength for this today. But I'm so grateful to God to how He shows up in my life to teach me and not just let me get it hit on Sundays and when the word come, the word tear me up. God really loved me in a way that He lets me live through things so that they can sit on me and sink in me. I was just saying that to you, Dominique, before we went live, and that we can be studying something in the Bible, and then God will bring it to something that we're going through, and He'll link that thing together so the message sits. I'm the kind of person, when I learn, I need a little bit of hands-on learning. You can't just tell me something. I also need to learn it. So I thank God for how He individualizes the things that I go through in a manner of which I can learn and be better. Because one of the things that really shook me up over these last couple of days, I knew I was having surgery. Like, it wasn't, I scheduled it. It wasn't no emergency thing where, oh Lord, I got emergency surgery coming up. It was something that, it was a procedure I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I prayed about having it. I prayed that God allowed me to go through it. I prayed for God to cover me during my healing process. But in the healing process, I knew God. I trust God to be a healer. I'm not like, oh, I'm scared to go through it. No, Lord, when you put me under, bring me back up. Cover the doctor. I was smart and wise enough in my spiritual maturity to not just pray over myself, but go to my sisters in Christ, my brothers in Christ, and say, hey, this is what I need y'all to pray for. This is what I got going on. Let me tell you my business so you can pray for me. I was covered. My sisters was checking on me. My family was checking on me. But in the process of healing after you have surgery, God was still doing some things for me in my heart and my mind, showing me that there was some healing in other places that I had to really fix and get together, because I'm the kind of person who I really bothers me to ask people to help me. I don't know where that's rooted from. I'm just been the person who I always have great resources. I've been burned by people before, but I can't pinpoint one thing to say I never asked nobody for help um in no kind of way. I think in some instances asking for help makes me vulnerable in a way that I don't like to be. I love to be the person that help people, but it's really difficult for me to ask for help in a lot of situations. And I thank God that because He loves me so much and He sees this as something that can't benefit me as I grow in my spiritual journey, He uses things to show me how to change and grow and get better. So I'm down and my body healing from physical surgery. But God went to work on my spirit and my heart. He had the body covered. My faith already knew that. I knew that God was gonna see me through to the end. I had already prayed about it. I don't just do nothing anymore without consulting God about it. I knew that I wanted to have the procedure. I talked to my husband about it. I talked to the Lord about it. I talked to my friends about it. Talked to my family about it. It wasn't no secret. I put all my prayer warriors in place. So my physical healing, I wasn't so much like, oh, I'm just so worried that God gotta get me through this. I knew God was gonna get me through. My faith was real big on that. But God used that opportunity for me to heal my body, to heal some stuff in my heart and my mind that I did not know was really hurting me. And that one of those things is being in a position where I have to ask people for help. I recently had heard something that my pastor said. It might have actually been this Sunday. Um, he said that everything that God has purpose for us to do will have to be done through the body that God gave to us. Now, this is really one of many reasons why taking care of your body is so important, because everything that God put you on this earth here to do, the vessel, the body that you have, is what He gives for you to get that thing done. So I don't think about it as much, especially when it comes to health and eating right and the things that I put myself through. I don't think about how important it is to take care of my body in the sense that I need this to complete God's mission. So when it was my pastor, when my pastor said that, that kind of tuned me in. Like, man, I got to really start paying more attention to how I'm taking care of myself, and that's just not just in the sense of health and wealth. That's in the sense of overworking myself too, overrunning myself. Y'all know before I went down to surgery, I try to do as much as preparing as I can to get down. I meal prepped. I laid out menus. I laid out clothes for my son. I like coordinated the transportation for things I had to take care of, just trying to be as much of a help to my family that was going to be caring for me that I could. I tried to prep so much to put all this stuff in place because I just wanted to make sure that I still took care of everything that I had to do. But yeah, after post-op surgery, and even though I knew what I was walking into, it wasn't something that I was unfamiliar with. That took a toll on me more than I thought that it would take a toll on me. And my mind just wasn't mentally prepared for when I all the preparing that I did in that procedure did prepare me for the type of healing that God had to do in me. Because once I couldn't really use my body in the way that I normally use it, I had to rely on other people to help me. And it wasn't like I'm like, okay, I don't want nobody help. I needed it and I wanted it. And shout out to my husband. Every week, y'all never not gonna catch me loving on that man, because when I say he did his big one for taking care of me and holding me down, and also allowing my family and my friends to step in place to do things to help me with certain things, getting me ready even for Bible study tonight. He helped me get myself together because he knew I wasn't gonna sit off a Bible study. I've been laying in the bed for almost 7 days, but I got that bed for Bible study. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. But just God putting the right people in place, using them to help me to be able to rest my spirit, rest my heart, rest my soul. Like yesterday was probably one of the worst days I had in recovery, because my mind wanted to go and take care of a lot of things that my body just could not do. And I'm like, okay. And I was so distraught most of the afternoon yesterday, like just not having a great day because my mind was just wrapped around what I could not take care of myself. And like my body physically could not do it, guys. Like it was just no physical way my body could have done the list of things that I wanted to do that day. But my mind and my heart, like it was just holding on to me so hard to just not ask for somebody to help until God put it on me, like, you are being so stubborn in the sense that you just won't face this. You got to get strong enough to ask somebody to help you when you can't physically do it on your own, Deborah. You tearing that body up. And I went back to what my pastor had said about how this body is so important to care for it, to take care of it, to do the right things with it, because this body got to get on here on Monday nights. This body got to minister to my son in the morning when I take him to school. This body got to make sure I minister to my husband as a wife in the way that God need me to pour out to him. I'm ministering to the person I see at the Jersey Mike's checkout line, because I go there a lot, guys. Somebody gonna need to me to bring a word for the Lord wherever I at. Maybe Jersey Mike's, maybe I don't know. Maybe when I'm picking up a Happy Meal for my son at McDonald's, God might send me to minister to somebody, which He has before. He sent me to be the representation of Jesus in that moment for somebody, and I told God, "Yep, I'm down. I'm gonna do that." I gotta take care of the body that He gave for me to do it. This the vessel you want to use. So you already down from surgery and you know you can't physically do it. You're gonna sit up here and have an emotional breakdown because you mad because you don't want to ask nobody to help you to do something little and plain and simple. You gotta grow to get the strength to ask for help. And God really tore me apart. Because if anybody know me, they know I'm a do it yourself kind of girl. But God was revealing to me how, like, this is one of the tactics that the enemy use. The enemy don't always come to us and stop, because the enemy wants to stop us from being who God called us to be. He want to sabotage us from being the best version of ourselves. And the more we walk in our purpose, the more we follow God's guidance, the more we show up for Bible study, the more we show up for ourselves in our daily devotional, the more we show up for ourselves by taking accountability for our poor behaviors, the more we start to become more like Christ. And that's how we get closer to our purpose. The more we walk closely and walk and align our lives with who Jesus is. The enemy want to attack us and stop us from doing that. So in my being in my feelings and not asking for help, instead of praying, here I go scrolling on Facebook, just laying in the bed scrolling, laying in the bed scrolling Instagram, catching up on my news. And I'm not saying that that's bad things to do, but the devil was distracting me because there was things that I knew that I needed to do while I was down, that I'm so worried about having to ask somebody for help for something else that I'm distracted. And I'm like, that's a trick of the enemy. Now you using other you nice, you're not going to attack me through my physical health because I already put God on that. I'm healing, my body healing. You ain't finna get me down thinking like, oh man, the surgery went wrong or something went wrong. Boy, bye. You can't catch me there because that would kind of be the obvious for me. He catch me in my mind where he catch me when in ways where I don't think it's so obvious, like coming after my courage to call and say, hey, Jarrell, can you come home? Can you do this? Or hey, mom, can you come over here? Can you help me for this? Like, okay, can you help? Listen, I couldn't even shower by myself. So like, it's a sense of dependency that I had to have over this past week. That God really showed me that the devil was using this to stop me in a lot of ways, and I really want to be able to not allow the devil to trick me that way in any asset of my life, in any area where I'm overdoing it, trying to and I'm trying to do everything myself and take everything on myself. Like, I was so grateful that God used this situation and this procedure that I went through to really teach me where there is some other places where you ain't got the faith laying down that you can heal. Because I knew that I was a person who liked to do it all, but I didn't see it to the degree that I saw it to until I went through this situation or this procedure recently, and I really had to lean and depend on others. And God was really showing me too, like you play that card when you with me too. You don't want to call Jarrell, you also don't want to call me. What's up? Like, and I was just so y'all, I'm like, God, I just had surgery. Go easy on me. Hold on. But God is right. When God needs to get our attention, and when he needs to bring something that's really important to us, he got a very, very, very intentional way about making sure that we be able to receive what he's trying to get us and that it land. That's why I was saying that was so dope, Dominique, that you had already been reading in this chapter and in this book before. Now God pairing something with it for it to land. Like, I'm never going to forget this procedure I had. It's a life changer procedure, and I'm also going to never forget that God is trying to teach me, when you down and out, do not be afraid to ask for help. You have pray for the strength to ask. If you got to do that sometimes, like I don't know why I always struggle with asking people for help. A- and I think that even when being that way in my heart and my mind, the enemy used that to kind of drain me spiritually. Because if I don't want to ask for help, I'm sitting there like I did yesterday, crying, just in despair, feeling down in the dumps about a healing I know God had already brought. I'm crying and worried and stressed about stuff that ain't even mine to carry, to be honest. Because you want to do it all yourself. Are you sometimes I think taking things on that don't belong to me, God be real like, okay, if you're gonna do it, go ahead. You ain't got to stress out about it, but go ahead. And since you're gonna do it, and that give the enemy place to bring me further from God because I'm trying to get things done. I'm trying to show up. I'm trying to make sure that the Bible says don't get canceled on Monday. So I gotta get there. I gotta be there. And I thank God that before I got on here, God really gave me just a good encounter with him to be able to show me how I'm being obedient and not being trying to take it all on my own. Because at first I was like, am I doing too much trying to get on Bible study on Mondays? No, and this really the first time I really kind of got up and about. And this the best I done felt is getting out here and being honest to share with somebody what God done did with me. So the devil will work in anything that he can work in. Because I reached out and asked that God give me the strength to do tonight because your girl is still still in the process, and I asked God for help. So the devil want to keep me wrapped up in my own mind thinking, should I get on there tonight, should I not get on there tonight, and not just pray and ask God for the help that I need to do what he called me to do in this body, in this vessel that he called me to do it in. Like God is God is so good to us in the way that he teaches us and encourages us and helps us learn and helps us to combat the tricks of the enemy, because the devil got so many tactics that he can use. But we working. Listen, we own the winning team always. So all we have to do is be strong enough and wise enough to reach out to help from the one we partnered with. So going through this whole process, even yesterday, when I was crashing out a little bit in my emotions about how I was feeling, God brought it to me that like you not really even calling on me to help you. You trying to handle this on your own. You worried about you not having good range of motion to do stuff. I sent you a whole God sent me a dope support system. I could call anybody on this call and ask for help. All of y'all that sitting out here checked in on me. I'm like God sends me so many people to love me intentionally where I need like a support system. And I felt so bad when God laid this on me, like, God, I'm really just not I really feel bad that I'm just kind of throwing it in your face and being ungrateful for even the help that you have to me, trying to take it all on and kill myself, going crazy trying to do it on my own. But God, and I prayed before I got on here today. I said, Lord, give me strength to get through this and give me strength to call on you if I need you to help. God, just give me the strength to ask. In today's culture, independence is often like glorified, like social media. Um, Promotes, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being a strong black woman. Let me say that in advance because God made us to be strong, but social media constantly pushes the idea that a strong woman do everything on her own. I got it out the mud, got it on my own. I got it. I figured out I don't need nobody else. We hear stuff like that a lot, but many of us are really silently exhausted trying to give up and live up to the image, trying to live up to the image that we doing it all, we got it all, we handle it all, we manage it all. Like we silently going crazy on the inside. I was just testifying a few weeks ago how I was so overwhelmed by just my regular everyday stuff. Like I feel like it was one thing after another. Cook, clean, work, homework, do this, do that, do that. And I'm like, oh God, I need a break. I need to breathe. I need to pray. And I was overwhelmed. Um, and I remember talking to my husband. He was like, well, nobody told you to do all that stuff. Like, just calm down. Like, I'm here. What do you need me to do? And it dawned on me, I'm like, okay, I'm taking this stuff on and I'm doing all this stuff on my own. That's a me thing. I'm saying I gotta do this. Like, but sometimes we looking at other people's lives and we see them managing stuff and we feel like, well, because they doing it, I should be able to do it too. I should be. So we try to live up to this expectation that we got it all, we can do it all, we managing it all, and we walking around with unnecessary burden, things that we don't even have to carry, stress that we don't even have to wear because we silently exhausted, and we won't say that, we won't acknowledge that, I just don't got it all because of the way maybe that make us feel to think that I can't handle it all. But man, we really be burning the candle at both ends, because God never designed for us to carry life alone anyway. And the enemy loves when we isolate ourselves in our own struggles. when we go cry in the bathroom, so don't nobody know that we hurting. When our sister in Christ call us and say, sis, you need anything? And no, sis, I got it. I don't need anything. But knowing I really just need somebody to drive me to Walmart real quick because I don't want to bother my husband because he at work. Or I really just need somebody to come pick me up and take me to get my son because I want to make sure that I pick him up today, even though I'm not feeling that good. I can't do it. Like, we got to really have, and it takes safe people. I'm not saying that you can do this with everybody, but my pastor be telling us this at church sometimes. You gotta really be honest with people about how you really feeling, because we struggle in silence sometimes, and we really don't have to if we was just honest and have safe people that we can say, like, sis, you know what, today, I'm not really doing good. Sis, I really kind of need your prayer. Let me hold something, because I'm really not doing that good, and I'm really thinking I could carry everything. I really think I got everything that I need to. I'm doing everything, but it's really just I'm struggling today. So I thank God that he provides safety for us like that in this group where we can talk to each other. But even to some degree of this woman to woman, we gonna withhold stuff from each other too. That's just, I'm not saying we wrong. I'm just saying that's our natural makeup. Like, I got great people around me. It's some stuff that I've just haven't grown out of to be able to out really share with people because it's still stuff I be trying to process myself. So I'm so glad that God is really showing me through what I'm going through that I gotta get better at this. I gotta be better at asking for help. I gotta be better at not putting my body through so much, my mind through so much. And I think about that spiritually too, guys. Like, once you present yourself as a safe place for people to come to you, people come to you, and I love that. But I want to also be in a place that I'm not burning myself out spiritually, that I'm not able to minister to God's people because my emotions is all over the place. Because I didn't tell Leslie I needed you to come by and sit with me today. Because I didn't tell Dominique, yes, sis, this is specifically what I need you to pray for because I'm hurting. And then it comes back on me personally, Deborah. I'm not talking about y'all, but come back on me personally, Deborah, where I'm giving out everything I got and I'm not at the capacity to where I can help people who come to me spiritually because I want to be a safe space for folks. That's part of my purpose in his life is to be a safe space for God's people because I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna tell you the truth. But I gotta be in a place to where I'm allowing people to be that for me too. But I thank God that in what I've went through with this procedure, that He's really been showing me that you gotta work here. Because sometimes we get to a place in our spiritual journey where things is going good, so we a little complacent. I felt a little bit of that complacency with me recently, where I feel like, okay, um, I'm going through all of my emotions. I'm doing all of my things. I'm showing up the way God told me to show up. So things is going good, but like I felt like growth kind of coming over me. Okay, Lord, we just kind of kicking it. And I felt but God really revealed to me where like, okay, yeah, we cool, but this is stuff I need you to see a work here. I need you to do things here. I need you to start asking for help because I'm one of them people, y'all, who like I'm strong. I got it. I can do it on my own. I would prefer to do it myself. And God is saying, you wearing that body down, girl. The enemy loves when we isolate ourselves too, when we have struggles, when we get on our own, try to do it ourselves, because when we become isolated, we are easier to attack. He can easily get in them thoughts, in that heart, in them actions. When we refuse to help, three things often happen. We might become spiritually drained, we might become emotionally overwhelmed, and we might delay healing and growth. I just told y'all about all three of them things before I even mentioned them. That's exactly how it happens. Spiritually drained, trying to carry everything ourselves, drains our energy and drains our focus instead of spending time with God. We overwhelmed managing problems that we could have just shared with others. We become emotionally drained. Like stress, our stress level go from 0 to 100 real quick. Our stress multiplies when it stays inside of us. What could have been lightened through support becomes heavier because you don't want to talk about it. I'm bearing it alone. I'm not gonna say nothing about it. So I've got this big old burden that I'm carrying it. And because we overwhelmed is some with our emotions, our spirituality sometimes really take a hit from that too. Because sometimes I get in my feelings about things that I'm carrying and I don't go pray about it. I don't go talk to God about it. So now I'm doing myself a greater disservice. I'm not tapping into my partnership. I'm trying to handle everything on my own. And because I'm not going to pray about it, I'm not growing extra. I'm becoming a little bit more complacent. I'm not healing in the way I need to heal because I'm trying to attack this all on my own. Sometimes the wisdom, the support, or the prayer is what we is, the prayer we need is already around us. It's already in our sister circle. It's already in our marriage. It's already, God already sent our mother to tell us this. God already sent my friend to bring this to me, but you ain't talking and you ain't saying nothing. So you can't get what God got for you, and you can't grow because you're not willing to talk about it and you want to hold on to it yourself. But pride, fear, or past hurt keeps us from receiving the things that God needs us to receive because we don't want to be honest and ask for help or talk about it. But why is asking for help so hard? Like, what's the big deal about it? There are many deep emotional, cultural, and spiritual reasons why people struggle to ask for help. For many of us women, especially, it's often not just about us being independent, it's tied to past experiences, our identity, even a spiritual misunderstanding. Some reliable reasons that we are not asking for help is out of fear of burden. Many people worry about asking for help if it'll be inconvenient or not. We think like, okay, they might be busy. I don't want to bother them. They got their own stuff going on. I'm a really big person who like I don't like to burden nobody, or I don't want to feel like I am a burden to somebody. Like I don't want nobody feeling like, oh, she calling asking for help again, because that's really gonna set me off. But the truth is, healthy relationships involve mutual support. The same way you would help someone you love, many people in our life would likely be honored and feel honored to help us too. Like I said, like everybody that I'm looking at whose name is on this phone call checked on me and asked me did I need anything. Every single one of my siblings checked in on me and asked me if I needed anything. But they couldn't confess them because my husband was waiting on me hand and foot. My son, like getting me in and out the car, like my mother-in-law, people showing up without my permission, making sure that they helped and checked on me. So I was thinking, I'm like, man, God, and I would show up for these people 100 times. Like I absolutely would. And it's not that I'm like, okay, I don't want to ask her. I don't want to ask her. I just don't ask. I don't say it. I do. I was reaching over. I was having like things on my nightstand that I wanted, that I was kind of having to maneuver around to reach and get. I was getting up and sitting down and going to get the stuff and thinking like, why am I not calling Jackson in here? Why am I calling? And so after it started dawning on me, like, I'm moaning and groaning when I could just really just be laying here and resting and taking in what God got for me in this healing season. Because when God needs you to hear and get something, I'm very, 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 very much a believer of the fact that He gonna get your attention if you need it. And I knew this was coming. I knew I would have some downtime, but I didn't know God was going to snatch my attention to something like this in this way. But I was really sitting there laying there when I was like trying to reach for something. I remember saying, I'm going to hurt myself trying to get this. And I was like, why are you not calling Jackson here? And ever since then, I've been calling, and my son, he been happy. Mom, do you need anything? Do you want something? Just something simple as that. And it rested me from being able, having to move so much. Like, why don't I want to be a burden on a little 8-year-old I carried in my body? I grew you. Man, you better come in here and have me this bag of munchos. Like I'm just talking to myself like that. A comical way was like, he happy to help me. He happy to do it. Like he happy to get up in the morning. And this also was teaching me with him to put more responsibility on him taking care of himself. Cause don't look for mom to do it all the time because mom can. We get up in the morning, baby, it's time to get up for school. And he walked through I watched him walk through every single one of the steps I showed him, from getting his own breakfast to getting his lunch to getting his clothes to getting dressed to doing his hygiene in the morning to getting everything. I said, oh, he doing absolutely everything. I'm just doing too much. Because get his boy room to grow up and be a young man. God was showing me stuff like that too. Like, cause when you ain't asking for help and you doing everything, that affect areas of your parenting too. I said, oh Lord, like I was so glad God got my attention with this, because I really hate that. Like being a burden to somebody and trying to ask somebody if they'll help me with something. Also, it comes from like pride or over identification with independence. Like we often praise being strong, being independent. I can handle, I can do it myself. I don't need nobody. I figured it out. I got it. No, sometimes independence is just like emotional armor. It can keep us from receiving the love and support that God placed in our lives. I always jokingly tell people, man, I live with two dudes. It's just me and two dudes. On the flip side, I ain't got to worry about nothing. I live with two dudes. They don't play. Ain't nobody gonna bother me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. If I hear a noise in the house, everybody getting up before me. I don't gotta do nothing. I don't gotta take out no trash. I don't gotta put no gas in the car if I don't. If I'm listen, and they love me in a way that my I always hear my husband tell my son, man, take care of your ladies, and he got a list of us that he know he got to take care of. Sometimes I feel like even not asking for help and trying to be strong at home in certain areas, I keep them from loving me the way God sent them to love me. And you don't really got to do much, Deborah. You doing this on your own. You tired because you doing that. I don't want you to keep blaming me or feeling like you overwhelmed with these beautiful roles I gave you. I can't be more proud of my life of being the wife and mother that I am. It's like fulfills me. And God and I think about that how I feel like overwhelmed. God been showing me like you getting overwhelmed by stuff that I didn't even give to you. You could be enjoying the fact that you live with two men who will do absolutely everything for you or step in. My mother-in-law treat me like her own daughter. You can't tell my mother-in-law that she ain't my real mama. You can't. I'm not gonna tell y'all that she ain't. I had two real mamas. Because God sent people to love you and to help you. My friend circle, my group, my Bible study group of sisters who, like, if I'm going through spiritually, I have the safety to call and say, y'all, the healing is crazy. I need the prayers now. Like, God sends people to love us in the way that He sees that we need to be loved. And with us not reaching out and asking people for help or being vulnerable or being too independent, we often reject things God sent to bless us. True strength actually comes from humility and openness. Also, we go through we get afraid to ask, or we don't want to ask people certain things because of past disappointments or betrayal. Some people learn early in life that asking for help didn't work. Maybe some people ignored your needs. Maybe somebody judged you. Maybe somebody threw it in your face when you asked for help. Because that's one thing you will never have to see me again if I ask you for some help and then you throw it back in my face that I asked you for help. You will never get the pleasure of me asking you for anything again because that roots something in me. And God is even showing me if you got some of that, that gotta go. You can't hold on to that, big dog, because that hinders us not just asking for help for the people who betrayed us, but the people who God sent to help us. And sometimes you have to open up your mouth and make your request known. Like God will place somebody in our life, but like until you acknowledge that you need it, God won't just send that person to bless you. You will have to open up your mouth and ask to receive that blessing. But sometimes when people do wrong by us in a sense where you they throw something back in our face or we're vulnerable at some point with them and it come back up, I won't ask you for anything else. I can contest with that. I don't have one situation where that stopped me from asking for help, but I do feel like that about people. Like if I asked you for help before and then I come back, well, I had to help her with such and such. Oh man, no, you might as well. You forget. I've been there. I'm not telling you about nothing that I'm didn't experience or still not growing out of. But God is just showing me that like that can't be something to stop me from being able to reach out my hand and ask for help we need it. Because that make us feel like, okay, I'm safer if I just handle everything my own. I don't gotta deal with nobody trying to throw nothing in my face or nothing like that. But no, that's not how God wants us to live. We also think that we look weak sometimes if we ask for somebody for help. Many people associate asking for help with weakness. Like if I got to get your help with this, that means I wasn't strong enough to get it done on my own. And this is why I say the enemy got a lot of tactics because that's where he be playing on your mind. And you overwork yourself in ways that you shouldn't have to overwork yourself because you telling yourself that I ain't weak. I ain't gonna ask that. If I can't get it done, it won't be done. Now, why you feel like that? You feel the God can't do it with God can't do it without you? Oh, okay. And another one for me is perfectionism. Some people like myself feel like they should already know how to do everything. That's the know-it-all in me that I talked about last week. And this is I'm so glad God brought this to me because these are things that we don't know that we have about ourselves that sometimes we pass on to our kids. I gotta be perfect, I gotta be the best to do it. Like that's it's a way to build confidence in yourself and in your kids, and it's a way to build them into a situation where they're hurting themselves by not asking for help. Because my son do this a lot, where he feel like if he don't do something right the first time he do it in the perfect way, he down on himself. He talking like just talking cash money stuff down to himself, saying that oh man. I'm like, Jax, why are you beating yourself up so bad because you didn't get it the first try? Like, you're not going to be perfect. You can ask somebody to help you, to show you how to do it. And I realized that this is how the enemy plants seeds in us, even at his little young age, making him come down on himself because I don't got it perfect and I should have it perfect. I should be able to handle this. I shouldn't need nobody help with this. I should be able to do this on my own. The enemy is so tricky and cunning and conniving and ugly. He attack where he can. He don't always come with the obvious blow. And so God really been showing me how, like, I I gotta release a lot of these things that are holding me back and overworking me, because I don't want to rest, because I don't want to ask somebody to help me to do it. Because sometimes I might feel like feeling responsible for everybody else. I feel responsible to take care of it myself because I gotta do it. I'm the one who gotta do it. Can't nobody else do it. It gotta be me. Why it gotta be you? I gotta be the one giving the advice. I gotta be the one encouraging everybody. I gotta be the one supporting everybody. Go where the Lord send you. The Lord will show you where you're supposed to be. You might not. The Lord show you what you need to do, how you have to act. The Lord will show you when it's okay to say no. I have to pray a lot about that now. When something comes up in my spirit, I ask God, God, give me the right answer here. Because sometimes the answer gotta be no. Sometimes I can't do it. Sometimes it ain't me that the Lord needs to say. When I'm saying, oh, the Lord want me to do it. Sometimes the Lord ain't telling me to go. He telling me to pray. You know what I'm saying? So like, we feeling responsible for everybody else because we used to doing it, because we used to being the one who doing it, and not recognizing that isolation is a spiritual attack. Sometimes the enemy quietly convinces us that don't nobody understand what you're going through. It's a battle you gotta fight on your own. You're the only one dealing with this. Just keep it to yourself. It's embarrassing to tell other people. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna judge you. They're gonna say the enemy want to keep us isolated in the feelings that we have in our mind. And that's how we get in the place where we're not growing spiritually, because our spirit, he literally attack our spirit with these lies that he tell us. But we don't want to ask somebody or reach out to nobody because that's just how we are. So we're gonna keep being like that, and the enemy gonna keep using that. Even though we going to Bible study on Mondays, we attend church on Sundays, we active in the church, we doing stuff, we reading our Bible, we being a light. We can't understand, well, like, why I feel like I'm a little complacent, why I feel like, I ain't growing nowhere. Because there's still more growing to do. And the enemy, when he keep our body and our spirit under attack in ways that we're not paying attention to, we can't fight it, we can't combat it. Like, that's why. But when God want to get your attention and teach you something about something that you really need to know, like, I love that God, he's always greater than everything we experiencing. Because sometimes I feel like we just in the fire, but we not just in the fire. We just not asking for help out of there. Lord, help me. I don't gotta be sitting around here moaning in agony and pain because I'm going through. I already gotta heal from surgery. I shouldn't be going through nothing emotionally while I'm healing for surgery. Lord, help me. Sis, help me. Somebody come sit with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, say what you need. Say what kind of help you need. Jax, I need you to come in here because I'm rolling over and I don't like how it feels when I have to roll over and grab this off the nightstand. So if I have to call you 12 times, my boy, I'm sorry. But he'll come every time. God, and he don't complain. Sometimes he come in there and sit down and hang out. He happy that I call on him. Sometimes we just be so wrapped up in what our own mentality is that we miss who God sends to help and love on us and why he send them to do it. Because we done been through so much. We done got these scars of having to ask people for help. We hyper independent. Whatever it is that we holding on to that make us like that, the devil keep working on that. And we, in some ways, don't even be aware. Sometimes we think asking for help means that we failed. But in reality, asking for help often means that we wise enough to protect our own peace, our own energy, protect our purpose, because God didn't design for us to do life alone. Sometimes the help we need is already sitting right in the community that God gave you. Some of the areas where we do struggle to ask for help is in motherhood and parenting. I talked about this quite a bit. Many mothers feel like they must do everything by themselves: school schedules, homework, meals, emotional support, activities. It can be being a mom is a full-time job. And I feel like God hired me, but I've been working overtime on hours that I picked up myself because God has said, okay, you just do it a lot. It's not something I'm gonna feel like, okay, they got me doing too much. It's just that I want to do everything. Like I want to be the one to go out. Man, I'm so thankful to have support in parenting because um I burn myself out a lot and I don't even do everything. I don't youth sports is one thing that listen, my husband go every time. I'm coming to the games, but these kids be practicing 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. And I got multiple kids in sports and I gotta go from here to here to here. And this is my portion of the parenting. If I had to do it all, y'all, I don't know what would happen. It's too much. These kids got too many rigorous schedules the older they get. But in our parenting, sometimes we try to take on so much because we want to do it, we want to do it, we want to be the one to do it, that we silently struggle with the stuff that we decided to take on. And like even speaking with our kids about, and I think that's a big thing too. My son, he in the ninth grade, and he got a lot of things that he do and he have going on. And one of the things that me and my husband and his mom was talking to him about was like, man, we love you and we want you to do everything, but you're gonna have to start asking your friends what days they going. We gonna have to You gonna have to use your resources too. You're gonna have to help us help you. Like it's we want you to do, we're gonna take care of you, we're gonna look out for you, but like we need you to help us too. Asking your kids to chip in and saying like, "Hey, I'm not gonna do it all. I'm not gonna get up every morning and make your lunch. Can you go in there and get your lunch bag out, get your stuff on?" Like in our parenting, sometimes we take on too much, and we don't have to do that. Like we. This is a head. I say this to myself. Sometimes the things that I stress about sometimes is a headache I cause for myself. It's because I've been taking it on, doing it, taking it on, doing it, taking it on, doing it. Nobody ever hired me for that job. So we got to be careful too in our parenting, where we're trying to be super mom, or we're trying to do certain things, or we spoil the kid too much. And I ain't saying that doing nice things for your kids is the y'all should do like you should do everything you can for your kid. But sometimes, guys, if I'm being honest, we go too far, further than we need to go, without putting some sense of the responsibility back on our kids to do X, Y, and Z. To come and help out with me doing stuff. Hey, come in here, and I want you to help make dinner for the house, or this is what chore you got to do. It's we sometimes take on too much in our parenting because we love our kids and will do anything for them, but we'll take on so much and then we'll crash out in other areas because we feel like we shouldn't have to ask for help, but we won't ask for help. And I said, I got help. My husband do 50% of the work. And I still be trying to take on a lot of the stuff myself. I'm like he said, nobody told you to do all that stuff. You just decided that's what you wanted to do. But asking for help is actually protecting our ability to show up fully for everybody that we need to show up for. I need to fully show up for my kids. I need to fully show up in my marriage. So let me ask for help so that I can rest myself. So I'm not overdoing my body. So I'm not overdoing my mind. Like this is one area I feel like I really connected with, where I see that God is trying to get this lesson into me, because I really do need to be asking for help in these areas. Also, our mental and our emotional health. In the age of social media, many people feel pressure to appear happy and put together based on what you're posting on Beyonce's internet. Because we don't post the bad stuff. We ain't gonna show what ain't perfect. And but then also when we see other people posting certain things that we might think is good or we might like, we try to live up to the expectation of what we seeing. So we might present ourselves a certain way when we really ain't that. And our filter might say one thing, but the natural shot might look a different way. Many women suffer silently with stress, anxiety, and emotion and pain because they don't want to be a burden to others. But healing often begins with simple words. I need somebody to talk to. In relationships and marriage, sometimes relationship problems go unaddressed because people are afraid to ask for guidance or accountability. But wise counsel can help us see things we might not see ourselves. Seeking support doesn't weaken a relationship, it actually can strengthen. Listen, I 110%. asking for help or asking, having an open and a communication in marriage too. Like, oh God, like God teaching me so much through marriage about myself, and I'm so grateful because, like I said, those are my two happiest spaces in motherhood and in my marriage. Them are my happy spaces. And God teaches me a lot through my relationships and how He ministered to where I need to grow. Like even in this past few days where my husband been not even waiting for me to ask for them, but taking like such excellent care of me, and I'm not having to ask or do certain things and depending on him for it. It's really made me have a newfound appreciation for even just who he is, and to even see like the things that I attempt and I try to do in my life. Sorry, my thing cut down here. My husband was doing it with so much ease, and he wasn't stressed out. He wasn't complaining. He wasn't. I'm like, no, if he doing handling all this. Why I'm walking around the house all stressed and mad for because I got stuff going on. Like it was just showing me so much how God was just revealing to me how um I'm I be the problem sometimes, John. Like my lack of ability to even reach out and ask for help, overwhelming myself, crying, stressed out. I be the problem. Like I when you think like especially in marriage and a partnership, like that's my person. Like you prayed and you asked me for what I delivered. Like you got what you want. Why are you not utilizing the answers on the winning team? God is on our side. Like my husband is the partner that he gave me. Why of all people I'm not asking you for help? You know what I'm saying? Like God was really showing me how it can get so much better if you really just start using your resources that I blessed you with. Like I know God really put the people in my life, not just in my marriage, but my friendships, my brothers and sisters, the people that I'm around in my sisterhood group. God placed people specifically in my life that can love me in the way that I need to be loved. I'm still just reserving myself because I'm not strong enough to reach out to those people. And but the more that I do, the more God is blessing me and changing me. Like I never would have been able to get through this healing process if it wasn't for my husband being by my side. And that's just not because he a cool guy. He just know me really well. Like he know I'm not gonna ask for something, so he already knew to have it there. He know that what in the way that I need to get out, get air, taking me out, knowing when to get me out and give me some fresh air. No, just knowing me, God. Even my friends, like the things God that y'all was saying to me when y'all was texting me, like, hey, I know you ain't gonna ask me, but this what I'm gonna do. Let me know if I gotta come pick Jax up. Making sure my kid was looked after. Texting my son, checking in on my son while I was down, loving on my family while I was down. God know um who to put around us to love us that way. We just gotta be stop being so guarded that we don't trust God's love for us. God wouldn't have God wouldn't give us the safety of this group if it wasn't something that you can trust with your soul salvation. Like I love how the energy of this group is even if we out with each other like and so we hanging out at somewhere kicking it at somebody's house or we see each other out to eat, our energy of safety no matter where we at, it's still the same. We don't come in here judging each other. We don't come here talking bad about each other. If we have safety with each other, God gave us that. God put our people, our relationships, our friendships in a space when we start walking and growing with him. He lined things up for us to be safe enough to have that stuff. I know God got people around me that I can trust that if I ask for some help, I just can't ask. It's just me. I gotta make it open. I gotta say I need that. Because everybody ain't gonna know just like Jarrell. So I'm glad that God is identifying in my relationships, and in spaces that He got me in where like, look, girl, like utilize everything that I done blessed you with. Like you can't do this all by yourself. I don't even know why you trying. You see, Jarrell did it with ease, and you you be stressed out on Tuesdays, and he around here doing your job and his. But I'm just grateful that God brought this to my attention to show me where it is that I can grow. And even the lesson that he paired with this, I loved this lesson that he paired with us. We talked about a part of the story of Moses. And we were reading, the reading was in Exodus 18, chapter 18. We've talked about Moses before in here. I don't be know where everybody at in their spiritual journey. I always like to talk about things in a way that bring everybody up to speed. Everybody, Moses and the Ten Commandment Moses. That's who we're talking about in this story. We talked about Moses. I know that we talked about how he freed the children of Israel. Well, God sent Moses to go free his people. To Moses had a very long history here, but he got the children of Israel free by putting his staff down in the Red Sea, because he was the children of Israel as they were fleeing Egypt. Pharaoh decided that he didn't want them to go, so he went after them. And they come to a body of water, and through Moses, God split the Red Sea, and the children of Israel were able to escape away from Pharaoh. And God had promised them a land that was just for them, a promised land. So they were in the wilderness, and they were going through some stuff in the wilderness. So they saw some hard days, and their faith and their trust got shook. But while they were out there, Moses was in charge of the children of Israel. And I was looking this up today because I was like, I wonder how many people this was that Moses had to steward when they were just wandering in the wilderness. And the Bible said that it was about 600,000 men on foot. But after you included like the women, the elderly, the children, and even some of the people that were not Israelites that escaped with them, Moses was in charge of about 2 million, about 2.5 million people. Like, this is a lot of people for one man to have charge over. And when I say have charge over, like, Moses was the one that they was coming to. Like, Moses was the one who was, if they had problems, they had to come to Moses and get their problems. So Moses had to hear everybody out. He would, day in, day out, all Moses was doing was giving advice, solving problems, talking to people. Like, it just seemed like so much. Moses had been leading the Israelites and trying to handle every problem himself. Every dispute, every issue, every decision, all of that came through Moses. From morning until evening, he was working nonstop. So when his father-in-law saw this, his father-in-law, his name was Jethro, he saw this. He told him something powerful. He's like, "You, what you doing is not good. You and these people who come, they will only wear you out. Like, it's not good for you to keep doing this." So because Moses was literally spending all of his day just seeing people. Like, so if you spending all your day doing this, like, how can God use you in the other areas where he needs you? Like, you just overwork. So Jethro told Moses to appoint leaders to help carry the responsibility. And Moses listened. Because of that decision, the work became way more manageable, and the people were better served. And even one of the greatest leaders of the Bible had to learn that you cannot do everything alone. His father-in-law told him, like, man, it's a lot of people that you're trying to keep control of. Like, you need to take a few good men that you trust, and that's important to know, because he didn't just say go get somebody. He had to go. He told Moses, he said, if God agree with me, this is what you need to do. Go get a few good people that you trust, and you trust them and put them in charge of. You can group them in 100, you can group them in 1,000, you can group them in tens, but group and let them tend to all this stuff that the people got to see. And if it's something major, it can come to you, but you can't do it all. You got to make yourself available for what God's work really is. God done blessed you and to be able to reach all these people and to free all these people. But your purpose, you still got to stay getting your purpose. You can't do everything. You got to ask for help. God didn't intend for you to do all this alone. If he intended you to do all this alone, when I sent you in the beginning, I wouldn't have let you take Aaron with you. But you don't got to do it by yourself. So his father was telling him, like, you gonna have to chill, bro. Like, and Moses listened, he agreed. Like, but the one thing that really laid on my heart is those few good people. Like, I got I gotta be able to have somebody that I'm safe with, that I can trust, that I lay that down to, because that's what is required from what I'm going through. Like, God don't see something built up in us and say, okay, you got to get this out and go ahead and do it now. He know that some stuff got to be worked out of us. I might have been burned before, so Lord, help me discern who good people are. So when I start being safe with them, I know that I don't got to worry about this triggering in me or this coming back out of me, because you know that this is why it was hard for me. So Lord, help me discern who I can ask and who I can't ask. But I know you don't intend for me to do it myself. It wasn't everybody that Moses could have went and asked to be in charge of the people. You can't just ask anybody. And not everybody honest, not everybody on the God journey, not everybody trying to do what's right, not everybody got your best interest at heart. Like, this is why I think it's so important to have the Holy Spirit lead and guide you in discernment with your connection to people, because God will really reveal who for you and who not for you before you put yourself in a position to ask somebody something. God, send me to somebody who I know got my best interest at heart, who ain't gonna talk about me because I asked for this. Like, so the devil want to keep us from asking because we feel that kind of way. But the closer we get to God, we'll know that, Lord, we can pray and ask you to help us discern who you good people are that I can trust. Like Jethro said, you got to get you some people you can trust, bro. You can't just you can, but you can't do all of this by yourself. You can't. It's not. It's impossible. You carrying too much, and God didn't intend for us to carry this stuff alone. You guys, you want you got some, Siobhan? Okay, bye. Mute you back. Okay, I didn't want to overtalk if somebody was asking, wanted to get something. Maybe you unmuted yourself on accident. But this is how we apply this lesson, y'all. Recognize when you carrying too much, man. Sometimes we normalize stress and exhaustion, but constant overwhelm is often a sign that we're carrying things. And God never asks us to carry it alone. Ask yourself, what am I holding that I could share with somebody else? Also, allow trusted people into your struggles. God often answers prayer through people. Sometimes the help that we need is already around us in our friends, our mentors, our family, or our community. Learning to receive help is a part of spiritual maturity. Let your struggles shape you, not isolate you. Difficult seasons are opportunities for growth, and God often uses our hardest moments to reshape our mindset, to strengthen our faith, and to deepen our humility. Sometimes the real heartbreak comes when we finally say, God, I can't do this by myself. God, I can't. I tried. I can't. This one I can't hold up. I can't make this one shake alone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's difficult for us to be able to face that reality sometime. Like I really can't do this one. Like as much as I want to. Like I can't do it. And that right there is the best place to start, to realize that like it is out of your hands, and some stuff we only can do if we invite God in, and that looks like, God, show me who I can rely on, show me who I can trust, show me who's safe, because I'm having a hard time asking for help, but I can't do it on my own. So even if God don't swoop in with some miraculous m- miracle that he part the Red Sea for us, God might not part the Red Sea for us, but he might send us Aaron, that we could trust Aaron, and Aaron can go with us. He might send us a sister that will not judge. We listen and we don't judge, and we pray for you, and we encourage you, and we help you get back on. Like we help us accept accountability. God might show up for us in those ways once we tell God, I really cannot do this by myself. Our self-reflection questions, which is I like to use these as journal prompts too, because writing things out is so much easier for me to process when I deal with things, when I write things out, when I look at my own words, look back at me. Then for some reason it make it feel real to me and not just a thought that I had that I'm not gonna see again. Sometimes when I write things out, it makes me accountable to feeling that way. And I can't pretend that it's not true. So these self-reflections are really good journal prompts, just questions to ask yourself. Why do I personally struggle with asking for help? Are there areas of my life where I'm carrying more than I should? What fears or beliefs might be preventing me from receiving support? Who has God placed in my life that I could trust for support? And what might change in my life if I allow others to help me? Whew, those are going to be pretty heavy for you, girl. Our practical life application this week says, practice intentional vulnerability. Choose one area where you would normally try to handle something alone, and then take one step toward receiving support. Ask ask someone to pray for you about a challenge. Share honestly with a trusted friend about something you're struggling with. Accept help that someone offers instead of declining it, and notice how it changes your stress level and your emotional load. Strength is not measured by how much you carry along, sis. Real strength is knowing when to lean on God and the people He has placed in your life. You were never meant to navigate life in isolation. God created community because He understands our need for support, encouragement, and shared strength. Our willingness to ask for help is not weakness, it is wisdom and humility working together. Sometimes the breakthrough we're praying for or waiting for is on the other side of a simple, honest conversation. God often sends help through people, through prayer, through encouragement, and through burdens that are shared. When you allow yourself to receive help, you make room for God to work in ways you may never, ever, ever imagine. I never come here and tell y'all anything that I have not experienced. I don't talk to y'all about stuff in my parenting that God haven't put me through. I don't talk to y'all about nothing in my marriage that God ain't put me through. I can only speak to my personal experiences. And when I tell you that it changes things when you start to ask God for help, it changes things. It makes you feel free. It makes you feel more released. You feel freer to be able to fight the things that you have to do. Your everyday life, man, your everyday routine can feel like a burden to you if you're not asking God for help and guidance. We go to jobs where we have workplace things going on. We have people we have to contend with on our jobs and things that we go through. That's one thing we deal with. We have to be present in our relationships with each and every individual person that we love, showing up in our marriage, showing up for our children individually. If you got multiple children, you have to show up. I'm a different person to every one of my kids. I'm responsible to all those roles, though. God bless me. It's not a burden. I changed my mindset over the last few days by allowing God to show me that I was needing to ask Him for help. And I started to call on God for more help in the things that I've been trying to do myself. And y'all, it changed my mentality. I'm not telling you anything that I'm not living. So I'm encouraging you because I'm still working on this myself. So be strong enough to say that you need help, to say yes if somebody offer it to you, to not reject it, and to not act like that you got it like that. Be honest that you don't got it. I'm encouraging y'all to say yes to the help because whatever is keeping you from it is just a trick of the enemy trying to get us to overwork ourselves in a way that's keeping us from walking in our full potential that God has for us. I ain't never told y'all nothing wrong, so I'm just encouraging y'all and loving y'all. Just trust God, because He gonna send you the right people to give you the right help. That's all I got for tonight. I done cried all over this internet. I know I'm ready to get off of here now. Do anybody have any prayer requests that they want to put in tonight?
Hey, Deb, I do.
Absolutely.
I'm praying. Well, I'm asking. I'm praying and I'm asking that y'all keep me in prayer. I'm experiencing some new things with my son, and just found out like he has ADHD, and trying to get the right things in place for him to be successful in school because his mind is on 100 all the time.
Yeah.
First time ever having to deal with something like this, so I'm honest. I'm not equipped for it. I don't even know where to start mentally.
Mhm. Yeah. You know what?
So I'm just like in the process of just like I'm fine.
Yes.
Um,
Help her back.
just in the process. I'm fine. Um, just in the process of just trying to process everything
Yeah.
because you think you're just doing all the right things and then
Right.
boom, you get a curveball like this and it's just unexpected and it's hard. It's very, 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 very hard.
I'm
I have to read them with the school tomorrow to like see like what his progress is,
yeah.
like what they recommend. I got him a therapist, all this stuff now, and it's just like I just never thought I would have to go through something like this, and I can't talk to my parents about it because, first thing they say is don't put them on medication. You just need to do this and you just need to do that. And it's like, that's not what I want to do.